Washington pushing back against the accelerating criminal investigation into his campaign's ties to Russia. President Trump argued on Sunday that its focus should instead be on his 2016 rival, Hillary Clinton, even as the special counsel's inquiry was reportedly poised to produce its first indictment. In a series of tweets, Mr. Trump said Republicans were now fighting the Russia allegations by looking into Mrs. Clinton, apparently referring to new House investigations into her email practices and an Obama-era uranium deal with Russia. But the president made it clear he believed that Mrs. Clinton should be pursued more forcefully, writing, "Do something." He did not say who should take action or what it should be, though critics have accused him of trying to sway the congressional and special counsel inquiries into Russian ties. Still, the outburst suggested that Mr. Trump, increasingly angry and frustrated about the investigations, is waging a concerted campaign to shift the focus to Mrs. Clinton and other Democrats. After long expressing anger that his allies have not done enough to protect him from the inquiries, he is now enlisting White House and administration officials, employing his vast social media presence, and putting pressure on the Republican-led Congress to deflect any potentially damaging reports. Last week, Mr. Trump asserted that it was Mrs. Clinton who was guilty of having colluded with Russia to sway the 2016 election, endeavoring to turn the tables on the crux of the allegations against his campaign, and then sent his spokeswoman to the White House briefing room to repeat that charge. He urged the Justice Department to lift a gag order on an informant in a federal investigation involving Russia's efforts to gain a foothold in the American uranium industry during the Obama administration. And on Sunday, in tweets to his more than 40 million followers, he offered a litany of accusations against Mrs. Clinton and seemed to praise Republicans for starting the new congressional investigations. "Never seen such Republican anger and unity as I have concerning the lack of investigation on Clinton-made fake dossier, now $12 million, the uranium to Russia deal, the 33,000-plus deleted emails, the Comey fix and so much more," Mr. Trump wrote. Instead they look at phony Trump/Russia collusion, which doesn't exist. "The Dems are using this terrible, and bad for our country, witch hunt for evil politics, but the Rs," he added, "are now fighting back like never before. There is so much guilt by Democrats/Clinton, and now the facts are pouring out. Do something." Mr. Trump was apparently referring to reports last week that Mrs. Clinton's campaign and the Democratic National Committee had paid for research that was included in a salacious dossier made public in January by BuzzFeed. The dossier contained claims about connections between Mr. Trump, his associates, and Russia. The president was also reviving unproved allegations that Mrs. Clinton was part of a quid pro quo in which the Clinton Foundation received donations in exchange for her support as Secretary of State for a business deal that gave Russia control over a large share of uranium production in the United States. And he was returning to questions about Mrs.